Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to another edition of Legends from the Past and Future. Tonight we have Mr. Roger Parker. Roger, how you doing, Raj?
Doing good, brother. How we doing, everybody? Got an exciting show for you tonight.
Yes. And we have none other than Miss Ayana Moo Young. Ayana, how you doing?
Doing well. Good evening, everyone.
Awesome. You know, what you guys think about that Democratic convention? You guys been watching that? You see the Obamas last night?
No, I
didn't watch last night.
You didn't watch?
I'm sorry I missed it, but no. I didn't watch last night. The last thing I saw was Biden giving his speech.
Oh, okay. The Obamas put it down, but tonight we got the 1978 state football championship team from Annapolis High School. You know, we're gonna have a good one. You know, earlier we had the class of '74 football team, and that was a hot one. So now it's like, who was the best class coming out of Annapolis High? Well, we're gonna give them a chance to speak their piece. And before we actually bring them on, I want to show this clipping of the state championship team receiving the class of whatever from Annapolis High football team as they started the game. Go ahead and show that video real quick, Deja. Now, as we bring them to the stage, we're gonna start first with Mr. Kevin Kebo Thompson. Kev, how you doing, man?
Good evening, everybody.
There we go. It's good to see you, fellow soldier.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Crandall Chambers. Crandall, how you doing, Crandall?
Great. I'm on and crew. I'm great. How y'all doing?
Welcome to the show, both of you. Lenny Rick, the captain. How you doing, Lenny?
I'm doing wonderful.
Awesome. You keep that mic on tonight, okay?
You got it.
My man. And we have Mr. Randy Pittman. How you doing tonight, Randy?
Hey, I'm doing good. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. See, is that better? Now I better put the light on.
Now, where you at? The spaceship?
I am in the sailboat right now.
Oh, okay.
It was the last phrase.
Welcome to the show. You know, this is what we're gonna do, okay? We're gonna give each of you a chance to answer the same question. All right, whatever question is given to you, but we'll start with you, Lenny. Lenny, where you from?
I was actually born in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Grew up our early years in Bowie, Maryland, and then we moved over to Hillsmere Shores in Annapolis, Maryland.
Awesome. What about you, Crandall? Where you from?
Annapolis, Maryland, born and raised. Parole specifically. Went to Parole Elementary, then Annapolis Junior, then Annapolis High.
So what did you think tonight?
Awesome.
What were the things that surprised
you? Kebo, where you from, Kebo?
I am originally from Eastport, born in Eastport, but we moved around. Actually, lived in Hillsmere for a while. Went to school with Randy. Remember, we talked about that.
Yeah.
And but originally from Eastport.
Well, you know, we'll see if you want to come out.
Awesome. Randy, tell us where you're from, Randy.
I am from Annapolis, born and raised. I grew up in Hillsmere. So, yeah, Kebo, I think it was second grade, wasn't it?
Yes.
That we went together. So, yeah, but Annapolis Junior High, Annapolis Senior High, obviously. But, yeah, still in Annapolis, still in Hillsmere, actually.
Now, All right, back in the day, T-Birds was the thing. Now, did you guys play T-Birds starting with you, Lenny?
No, I didn't play any Pop Warner football. I started my football career at Annapolis High School playing JV football.
Did you really? Okay. What about you, Crandall?
Yeah, I played from the age of 10 on the Hardy Huskies initially in 90 pound, 105. Yeah, I came up through the ranks with Coach Cuz, Coach Watty Brown, and a host of other coaches that helped out, and we just had a great time.
Awesome. Hey, I want to say one thing before I go to you, kid. Now, one of the class of 74 players is on, right? So the battle was beginning now. I want you to know that. You know, he said the fat man said in order to be the best, you had to play the best. I'm gonna leave it right there because we're gonna have a nice time tonight, okay? All right.
Oh, bring him on. Oh, hey, that's a whole hour. But anyway,
so
I played with started with 90 pounds Renegades, but I always had trouble making that 90 pounds. So they automatically moved me up to 105 Renegades. When you had who we had, John, Mr. Downs, and those boys coaching us.
Awesome. Now, what about you, Randy?
Yeah, I started off clinic football. So I wanted to start playing when I was 5, but it wouldn't let me play. So I was 6 or 7 when I started. And then I played Hillsmere Hawks. And then I did play at T-Birds 120. And that was a great experience. That's where I met a lot of the guys that, on the team. And then from there, I went to the Naval Station, played 140-pound ball.
Did you play with Vest?
Yep. Play with Vest, yes. And actually, that was a tough league. There were some, they had 18-year-old people playing in that league, So it was, awesome. Yeah, I played a lot of football.
Okay. Yeah, you and I, we played together on T-Birds.
That's right. I remember.
So we're gonna let Ayana Moo Young start you off. Okay. I got a lot of stuff for you. You know that, right? All right. Yeah. Because you were juniors when I was a senior. Ayana, it's on you, Ayana.
So what positions did you guys play? And if you played multiple, which one was your best?
Yeah.
Which one was your favorite?
I was the center for JV and varsity all 3 years there.
Slip.
Yeah, I played defensive back, and I backed up some of the running backs. Randy was much stronger than me, and there's no way I earned a starting spot ever as a running back. But I had fun playing defensive back. It was a joy hitting and versus being hit.
Hit or be hit. My junior year, that was a weird year because the regular head coach, he was off somewhere, and then they put someone else in charge. So he had me playing linebacker during the games, but in practice he had me playing fullback. Figure that one out. So I never got any defensive reps in practice, but I played defense in the game. That was weird.
How about you, Randy?
Yeah, I was a running back, and I filled in at linebacker on occasion. But running back was my thing. And Crandall, you took my position one time when I got hurt, and you didn't miss a step. So I don't know about all that.
Yeah, that was our junior year, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Was it junior year?
I can't remember.
I can't remember everything.
I hit the helmet too many times.
Let's not talk about your junior year. Okay, we're gonna sidestep that.
Oh, that's right. So what's the young lady name? Ayana.
So,
yeah. See, the host, he was the senior on our junior year that went 4 and 6. But we won't say that anymore.
Wow.
I will say this: we had much more talent.
Yes.
At Armand senior year, we had Carlos Simbly, Kevin Abney. We had so many good running backs. Randy. I mean, we had a depth chart like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Defensive backs out of the wazoo. I couldn't even get any playing time. We had so much, but we didn't have our coach. So we should have been back-to-back
That's
state champions, really.
That's right.
Realistically speaking.
Yeah.
I'm not
And-
mentioning
Yeah, Kenny Belt.
So why
playing
do you
safety.
think you did not? Why do you think you were not?
because our genius head coach had some issues health-wise, and he wasn't able to be on the field.
Good answer. Good answer.
I know that's the answer Almond was hoping for. And, but that is true. They put Coach Bill Walk in a vulnerable situation. Some people are assistant coaches. They can't be head coaches. It's a whole different scenario. And I just think he was over his head. God rest his soul. And he made choices that you wouldn't want to make. With the football team. But like Crandall said, it was so much talent on that team. It was stupid. I was on the bench. Crandall was on the bench. Darryl Brown was on the bench. He
shouldn't have been on the bench. Kev, he shouldn't have been on it. He should have been a starting quarterback.
Oh, yes.
That's the reason why we didn't win the state. But that's why we didn't compete, Yana.
Well, I should have been the fullback that year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
But,
Roger?
Hey.
Yeah, so you was putting Daryl over top Maurice? Is that what y'all saying?
Yeah.
Any day.
Yeah.
Tell him, Lenny.
Absolutely.
You know?
Daryl was my quarterback from 85 pounds, from Hardy Huskies. We played together the whole time. So when we got to Annapolis High School, we've been playing together for several years. So a lot of that team had played together multiple years. So we knew each other like the back of our hands. So Daryl certainly should have been the quarterback.
Daryl could throw the ball further, throwing it behind his back downfield, than Maurice could look downfield.
Maurice used to be a fullback.
Yeah, he was a fullback at T-Birds.
Yeah.
And he and I were in the backfield together.
So who made the ingenious decision to make Maurice a QB if he was a fullback? Yeah, and I know Daryl could throw the ball because I had gym class with Daryl, and he throw the ball from one end of the football field to the other. So
listen, I'm gonna defer to the captain 5'3". Go ahead, Cap.
Well, it's kind of like this. Like Kebo said, Coach Bill Walk got thrown into a fire. I know he did the best that he could possibly do. We all did the best that we could possibly do. But the general lack of leadership there was not there. And I think in our senior year, we all, as the season started, first couple practices, the seniors got together and we said, look, this isn't going to happen back to back. We're going to make a change. We're going to do whatever it's going to take to come out on top, number one. Yep. And so all the senior leadership, and as a matter of fact, they're the juniors that were on our championship team stepped up to the role, and most of those guys added to the leadership is what is required to compete as a team, as a unit, to be successful.
So what I'm getting from that's a great answer is that Armin and Lodi and Maurice and them didn't have the same ability as you guys to step up and get the team together with the leadership that you guys had so that they could win the championship, even though God rest his soul, Coach Vilwalk was lacking. So y'all realized he was lacking and y'all took your own initiative and took that state championship with heart and soul and ability.
Roger's still the same, isn't he?
And with heart, soul, and ability, but Arm and them didn't have that same heart. So I don't know. That's what I'm getting from you. I mean,
Roger,
I spent my whole life in the Army, so I don't know.
You missed one thing, Roger. We had Al Larimore back.
Oh, Al came back?
Al came back. That's the key you missed.
Oh, once Al came back, that was it. But
yeah,
still, the captain said, even with Al coming back, the captain said y'all were smart enough to realize that the senior leadership needed to step up, but Arm and them wasn't. Is that what I'm getting?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. So our first practice as our senior year, and Roger, you know this. You're on that practice field and you see the coaches coming around that corner out the school.
Right.
So Vess Parker, Lenny, and Randy called everybody together once they saw Al coming around that corner. And they told us, hey, last year it's not going to happen this year. And plus, who wants to fight Vess Parker? So, God rest his soul. Ain't nobody wants to fight him. So when he spoke with anger. He played with anger. So it's like, but those three got us together and said, no, we're not going to experience this again. And if you're not on, that's just flat out said, if you're not on board, get the hell off the field right now.
Wow. Well, for one, we never encountered.
Yeah, the key was having Al back, and because I played on the as a sophomore, so I had a chance to play with him then as well. So I was in the backfield, and we had some great players back then as well. Brian Vaughn and my favorite is Tommy Coates. And Tommy Coates was a good leader, and but so I knew the difference, between sophomore year and my junior year, and the key was Al. Al knew how to orchestrate us. He knew how to push the buttons, and you can't replace a Hall of Fame coach, with. I don't think Bill knew when he was going to have that job to begin with. I mean, it may have been a couple of weeks beforehand that he may have been informed. So hard task. And Al led with a very stern and firm hand, but he was completely fair, and that's what I loved about him.
Yep.
So, but he had the pulse of our team that year, that's for sure.
And obviously, because y'all got the championship, but I'm going and refer to Armin because he got something to say.
Fellas,
why you breathing all hard, man?
All right. Listen, you guys made a remarkable feat by going 12-0. 12-0.
Here it comes.
How did it feel?
Whether it was through open.
I think you guys were responsible for driving Al crazy while singing.
Oh my God!
I don't know.
No, that was the administration.
How did it feel? How did it feel? Going from 4-6, 12-0, and winning the state title, representing not just the high school, but the city of Annapolis. Starting with you, Lenny Rick. Hey, what I need you guys to do is mute your mics.
No, this is
Lenny, except you, Lenny.
That's a football.
Because he and I played each other in football.
So how did it feel, Lenny, going from 4-6 to 12-0? Carl Brown, the only undefeated quarterback in the history of Annapolis High, before getting to what Kim Jones said
because he was a good player
in his comments. How did it feel, Lenny?
So throughout the year, Al had us so captured in the moment. It was every day, each game, one game at a time, each practice, one practice at a time. We never looked forward. We just took them each of the games as they came to us. Then all of a sudden, we're here 3-0. We're 5-0. So, boys, what's going on here? We got a little something going on. But we never lost focus. Al always kept us in check. Nobody was getting a big head.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bunch of that hoo-la-la, we're going to go to states. You're 5-0, you're going to states. There's articles in the paper. And as we got closer towards the end of the regular season, there were some articles written in some papers about Crossland, and then it was Whitman about they got these guys they're benching 400, 450 pounds and all this crazy stuff. And Al never made any comment about it. We just came to play, boys. And when the dust settled, another victory for Fighting Panthers. So, awesome. And then I can only say probably one of the best experiences in my life to be able to have the relationship that I have with my brothers. Can't explain it.
That's awesome. Now, Crandall, each one of you, yourself, Kebo, Randy, Lenny, and of course, how can you forget Vest? You can't forget Vest or Darryl. All of you had leadership qualities. Which one of you, who do you think stood out the most as the leader of that state title football team?
Well, without a question in my mind, Vest, Tommy Parker. So when we practice, we practiced the way we gonna play. We didn't practice one way and intend to play another way. So practice was brutal. You had to come with it in practice. And Best, no, I didn't want to compete against Best in practice because I wanted to be healthy for the game. So I tried to save my people. And if the drill was against Best, I'd back up one or two goddamn people and put them in front of me and let them go against Best because I needed to be ready for Friday night. So, you know, we practiced hard. As Lenny said, we took a game at a time.
Yeah.
The crowd, the fans kind of got this feverish pitch as we were winning. And we didn't want to let them down. We didn't want to let our little league coaches down. The city of Annapolis really rallied behind us. And we couldn't lose. I mean, we couldn't lose. Somebody made a play. Lenny made a play. Kebo made a play. Randy made a play. Best made a play. Whenever we needed a play, when our backs were against the wall, one of them fellas, one of those leaders came through, the seniors. And I'm just so glad I had a team of seniors like these guys. And it was just a blissful experience carrying that through the rest of the year and into my freshman year in college.
Awesome.
Being able to brag about that.
Now, I remember, and this all of you, right? I remember a time when Carl Bowie, I guess it was a cheap shot on Vest in practice, right? And Vest had a hip pointer. He went out with a hip pointer. But when he came back, did you guys remember what he did to Carl Bowie when he came back? Anybody? Kebo, Randy, Crandall, Lenny, do you remember?
I do not.
He caught Carl on a 28 counter in practice now. And by the time he got through with Carl, his face mask, his helmet was like, it was twisted. And, dirt was all in his face, and got up, stood over and said, look, I told you I was going to get your ass. I told you that, right? But Vest was a beast, man. He was a true beast. Yeah, he actually bent his face mask. So Kebo, unmute your mic, Kev. Kev, go ahead. Say something.
You got me?
I got you.
All
so
right.
now you were, there was a game, and this, you can talk about Vest all day long. Now you were, I think there was a running back on Glen Burnie who was up for all county and U2.
Lewis Weeks.
Okay, well, what happened that night, man? I was really fascinated with how you came around your junior year and accelerated your senior year. All right, two questions. Did you lead the league in rushing, and what did Vest do for you to make sure you made all county?
Well, to reiterate what Randall said, first team offense played against first team defense in practice. That was some of the most brutal stuff you would ever have seen until Al said, okay, I've seen enough. This is getting out of hand. But he came to me, I think the fourth or fifth practice, our senior year, and said, he's the only coach that called me Kabo. He was like, Kabo, I think you can really help this team if you play fullback. I'm like, wow, where's this been? Because that's what I practiced all last year, but didn't get to play it. So I don't think I led. Matter of fact, Randy and I had over 1,000 yards apiece, and I think Rocky might have had it as well. I don't think I led the league, and I was close. But they gave it when we played Glen Burnie. That was senior night, and they announced all the seniors. And then once you ran off, they were pulling people to the side. The evening capital was to take pictures of the all-county personnel. So when I ran off, I didn't get called over. So apparently Lewis Weeks was off, and I had more yards, more touchdowns than that dude, anything. But Vest saw that, and he got pissed. And I'm telling you, they gave the ball to Lewis Weeks one time, and Vest took a personal foul. He dogged that guy out of bounds. And you know what Al Larmo did? Smiled. Because they knew. So later on, they tell, well, he wasn't a real running back. He ran too fast to be a running back. I was only 176 pounds as a fullback. And so they said he wasn't really a running back. That's why they voted Weeks. I'll get it. But we won the state title. I'm good.
That's right. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, you guys may not believe this, but I'm really happy and proud of you guys. You know,
really?
I am, man. I am. You know, I talk. It stings. It does. It stings. You know, but and I'm pissed with you guys, and I'm happy too. I'm happy after all these years, 45 years. Hey, there it is. There you got it, Randy. You were one of the toughest running backs in the history of Annapolis high football. Did you think about playing any other sport besides football?
Well, I played lacrosse also.
Did you?
Yeah, I played lacrosse. Yeah, I was pretty good at lacrosse. But so yeah, no, you didn't know that?
No.
No, I played lacrosse from a little age also. So I had a real difficult time deciding what sport I wanted to play in college. So I played both in college. But and getting to the question of the experience, again, I had the pleasure of playing on, as a sophomore, and then the struggle through the junior year, and it was extremely frustrating. And I just remember, gosh, we've got all these guys. It's just amazing, and we can't put it together. But the senior year, I've kind of felt something different even when we went to our first scrimmage over in Easton, and we just, beat the hell out of these guys. And the enthusiasm, and we weren't big, but we were disciplined. It was, and again, I was pushing all the buttons. So I guess, but I never really looked ahead. Like when he said, it was one game at a time. In fact, I have no idea if I did 1,000 yards in my senior year or not. But I think Kebo, I take his word for it, and I hope he's accurate. But the only thing that was important to me was just making sure we came out on top.
Yeah.
But there was one game in particular, and again, I think starting at 5 years old, my head's been hit quite a few times, so statistics don't come to me real well anymore. But we were behind one time in a game, and I remember after the game, my dad said to me, he goes, were you worried about losing this game? I was like, no. I said I wasn't worried at all. I knew somehow we would figure it out. If it wasn't Cabo, it was Rocky, it was called Bowie at times. And then, but the defense would get a big play. Somebody always stepped up, and I was never worried. And I think that confidence transcended the whole team. We didn't get upset if things weren't going right. We just pushed through it and came out on top.
Awesome. Okay, before we get into the juicy part of this interview, I'm going to give it to Ayana. It's on you, Ayana.
Well, we like to use the term scholar athletes. So I want to know how you guys balanced your academics and your football career, starting with Lenny.
Good question.
Well, if you didn't go to class and you didn't get good grades, you didn't play ball, and that's how it summed up. I wasn't putting up for none of that Mickey Mouse horseplay, cutting classes. And that was the most important thing to keep, all of us together and focused on what we were supposed to do in the classroom, so that we all had that opportunity to compete Friday night under the lights.
Awesome. Anyone want to add to that?
Yeah. We wanted to play. So you're going to do what you had to do in the classroom. And I think we were good students. I was a pretty good student. I was a B student, but I wasn't trying my best. I put my energies towards football and the practices. So I did well enough to, get in college and get an academic scholarship to college as well as a football scholarship. But and there was no middle ground. Either you did what you were supposed to do or your ass paid the penalty with Al. That's just how it went. So there was no mistake. Everybody had to do with it. We didn't have any problem with people getting disciplined or getting put out of games because of academics.
All right. Yeah. And I learned from even before the football. I think I was in 7th or 8th grade, and first D I ever had. And my father looked at that report card and just flat out told me, "You bring another D home, you ain't playing sports." So that was my scared straight moment, and so I made sure there wasn't going to be anything close to a D. And then to piggyback on it, we had some great parents out there. Crandall's father took all the pictures and videos, and Randy's father was on the side. I shook both of their hands after every touchdown, running to the sideline. So we had just great parent support. You know, they were there. They did everything for you, but we was just that group that decided, hey, let's just keep going. And even when we blew people out, we never talked about that game. We always went forward. You know, it was the next team up, you know, as we say. And I think I was sharing with Randy, I thought it was something special going on after we beat Bel Air and we were 4-0. And we had like 2-3 close games in a row. And after we beat Bel Air, that's when I figured, man, something is going on. But we never talked about it. No one ever said, hey, man, you know, we're undefeated. No one talked about it. Our captains wouldn't let us. They had us focused. And I always tell a story about Lenny. I don't know how he did it. Every time I ran a long touchdown, I look up, Randy's in the end zone, hugging me. I mean, Lenny. I'm like, he ain't that fast. How is he down here? But that was our team. That was our team. He was there. And you talking about commanding the huddle? And these guys can vouch. Nobody talked when Lenny said huddle up. That was it. When he said huddle up, we huddled up. Nobody spoke. Leadership.
Awesome. And so, you know, it sounds like you guys treat each other like family. You felt, you know, brotherhood there. And so, as we all know, sometimes families, you know, we get into fights. So tell me about a good fight. Like who was fighting back then? Who was getting into it with each other?
I
don't remember anybody getting into fights. You know, I mean,
really?
I remember an almost fight between me and Marco Tung, because what I told you is that we practiced the way we played. I didn't know but one speed. So I hit him one time too hard in his opinion, and he got, you know, we got like this, and I just explained to him, he was a senior, I was a junior, that I just know how to play one way. I can't, you know, and I apologized to him, and so he kind of walked away and let that go. But
yeah, but that was our that's our junior year, though. Yeah. So, but our senior year,
our junior year, Armin.
Say, there's probably all kinds of fights our junior year.
This one was Vest Parker and Big Ant.
But
and the back of the bus going to Fort Meade.
Who was that?
Vest Parker and Bear.
Oh yeah, Anthony.
Yeah,
Anthony Carr.
Okay, Bear. Yeah.
But we had no fights our senior year.
No, we didn't. We
were all about it.
I mean, we hit hard. I mean, we played hard. If somebody hits you hard, you know, that was the game. You know, and
the fight was with our opponent. That's where our fight was.
But I don't think there was any. I don't recall anybody getting upset, getting hit too hard. If you got hit hard, then you know, good. And you got to get back at him next time.
Listen, you wanted to fight. You had to go through Lenny, Brandy, and then Crazy Gary Dukes. And the person we were leaving out besides Vest Parker was Big Daryl Parker.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
You weren't messing with those guys, man. Although you were going to be off the team. Al wouldn't even have to cut you. They'd have got you off the team. So you weren't going to mess with them.
Yeah, and usually fights come when you're losing.
Yeah.
we were winning. Even if you got upset with somebody acutely, by the time the game was over, we got that W, you've forgotten all about it. I was upset with myself more than anything else during the game. If I made an error, I would rally my troops and say, look, man, it's my fault. Help me make this up. Let's get the ball back. And that happened more than one occasion.
Awesome, Roger.
It seemed like to me that once y'all got rid of Arm and them, everything was squished. Because I'm sitting up here listening to two fights. Marco, class of 78, Anthony, class of 78. Now, once y'all got rid of them, y'all went undefeated. Maybe they was a little bit upset because they saw the up and coming talent, the up and coming leadership that they didn't have. I don't know, wasn't there? Probably was somewhere jumping out of airplanes during that time. But
Roger,
now,
I believe
all
it
the
was
skills.
trying to figure out where the party was going to be before the game started, not after the game started.
Yes. We were going
Well,
to away
obviously-
games. We were on the bus going to away games. And even before we got there, I ain't going to mention Kenny Belt's name, but anyway, Kenny Belt would be like, yo, party over here tonight. And we didn't even play the game. But I will say, a lot of our losses during our junior year, almost senior year, was like 7-6, 6-0, 12-7. So that tells you we were there. It was just a weird situation. And I felt sorry for Bill Walt because he was thrown into it.
Right.
Wrong
but it
place,
also
wrong
tells
time.
me on the outside looking in with those close games that once y'all got rid of those bad apples, those games were no longer close. Kenny Belt, class of 78. But now with that being said, you know, and do any of you guys, did any of your children, if you have children, follow your athletic career? If you guys have children, I don't know if you have any children.
I've got 3 daughters, and they played high school lacrosse and soccer. Didn't play football, but yeah, actually one of my daughters played in college lacrosse.
My son played a little league, and he played in high school a little bit.
So I have a daughter and I have a son, and they both played little league soccer. And then when they got into the high school, she played girls soccer, and my son played on the football team throughout his high school career.
Nice.
And unfortunately for him, he didn't have nearly the success that we have, and so, but we cherish it.
Yes, we do.
Nice. You know, that's something that you guys can talk about forever. And just like Ayana said, the whole thing was with you guys that I noticed, you know, whoever took charge, you called out a few names, you respected the individual that spoke up. So y'all actually went from, you know, high school guys, friends, to straight family. Once you got that family bond, you know, it can't be broken. You know, I remember back when I was in the 82nd and we were sitting up there, you know, I was putting soldiers out to jump out the plane. The guy said, Son Parker, I'm scared, but you already up there now. You can't come back down with the plane. And right. He said, this not right. I said, no, it's not a natural act to jump out of an airplane, but they're paying your ass $110 a month. So your ass going today. But, you know, but you guys had that. So, and of course I went out with him, you know, jump master go out last, but I went out with him. And so you guys had that bond. And I've not heard talking to, you know, fellow Panthers and all that good stuff that they speak of athletic wise, the bond that you guys had. Why is that? Or why do you think that is?
Well, like Crandall said, when you're winning, you can mask any little deficiency. And I think that's in any endeavor. As long as you're doing great in the business, if you're doing great, you can mask maybe a couple people that are not. In our situation, we just had that leadership and that camaraderie. Like I was quiet. I hardly said a word. I took my cue from those guys. And but I knew who I was listening to was genuine. And I knew their heart. I knew their passion. So why not mimic that while you're out there? And so our team, from the first guy to however we had on the team, 44, 45, whatever it was. Even the guy that wasn't playing bought in, and we didn't treat that person any different as opposed to me and Lenny collaborating, Randy, Crandall. We treated everybody the same. So when you're winning cures all ills, you know that. And so that was our whole in a nutshell. And like I said, we had leadership, those three guys that I named, and even the ones that weren't captains, like a Daryl Parker, Crandall. Those guys were genuine. You knew to follow them no matter what. They weren't going to lead you off a cliff. And that's what I held my hand, hung my hat to, because I knew these guys, especially Randy, since his second grade. So I knew what I was getting at.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's awesome. I'm looking at some of these comments. Now, Armin started it because, his uncle Kim Jones was on that 74 team. And he's talking about we had 2 All-Americans, 2 All-State, 3 All-Regions, and 10 All-County on the team. You guys couldn't carry our jock straps. So how y'all feel about that? Because I know he's listening. Go on, get back.
Go ahead, Lenny.
Don't let him get away with
it.
Go
ahead, Lenny. Come on, Lenny.
So how many did we have on the county county squad that year?
We had about 8, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, eight or 10
like
players.
Yeah.
Then you flip over to the Baltimore Sun All Metro team. We had another, half dozen players on that squad. So all of us players are all Americans because we're all champions. So it doesn't really matter. The thing that you were asking Roger before, how did we come together? And I think it's a simple word. It's called trust. We trusted each other that everybody was going to do their role and their job. And we didn't have to worry about somebody was going to not do their job. Everybody was trusted, and that's what brought us together. TEAM, together everyone accomplishes more. There's the truth is there, buddy.
We didn't have anybody that was really sorry, Crandall. That was sometimes you got a jerk on the team, or you just can't get along with them, and there really wasn't that one. I mean, there was one guy that was a little on the edge, but we were able to keep him in check, and that was. So as far as our team, though, I mean, we were, and it's been said before, but what a family. I mean, we hung out together, we went to parties together, we did everything together. It was just so much fun. Every practice was hard, but it was still fun,
Yeah. All due respect to Mr. Kim Jones, I know him. I respect that fella. We were born years apart, so we could not compete against them. That just couldn't happen. But they competed against their peers. We competed against our peers. How did that go for them? How did that go? Did they win a championship?
Did they win? They won the championship, didn't they?
Yeah, well, back then they had a District 5. They didn't have a state back then.
Okay.
So they won a District 5. And the one thing about that class, man, not only did they win football, but they won a state title in basketball too, man. So that class was totally awesome. Not taking away from you guys at all, because you guys were
they undefeated as well?
No, they didn't go undefeated. You guys went undefeated, man. You know what?
I don't want to compare apples with oranges, but I don't think it's worth comparing them with us. What we did stands alone. This first undefeated team, the only undefeated team in Annapolis high school history. Enough said.
And Ahmed, trust me, if I had Barry Booth in the state title game in basketball, they couldn't make that same claim. Remember, he broke his foot.
Well, you
he broke his leg.
Talking about Kevin Slade and Henry Downs, man.
I get all that, but we'd have won football and basketball too. We had an injury, they didn't.
I got you, man. Now, Roger, you finished?
Yeah, because the fight already started. I'm good. I did my part.
You did. You did. You got it going.
I'm out.
Hey, so each of you can answer this question. How do you guys feel when you're here? My senior year, we went up against Polytech, Carroll, first two games, Arundel. You know, the whole county was good that year, and also Bel Air. How does it feel when you hear people talk about the schedule? When Al came back, he lightened up the schedule compared to what he had the year before. How do you feel when you hear that?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No, I mean, because we still played tough teams and we beat the teams that made it to the final. So
Awesome.
we could have, so
Awesome.
doesn't mean anything.
Awesome. How about you, Lenny?
I think you have to look at the overall picture. Obviously, we're 12-0. Look at the amount of points that were scored versus the amount of points that were given up.
That's good.
I mean, that's a huge number.
That's good.
We played Bel Air just like everybody played Bel Air the years before us and the years after us. We played the same teams in the county. Everybody had their chance to come at us. If I'm not mistaken, Al scheduled us for our out-of-county games with the previous county champions of the previous year, like Carroll County, Howard County, and there was another county. Whoever the prior year were their county champs, that's who he scheduled us with. Yeah. So again, a light schedule, I'm not buying. I'm sorry, fellas.
Awesome. What about you, Crandall?
Yeah, I echo what Lenny said. The cream had to rise to the top. So the best teams got beat by us in our division. That's it. So, it that speaks for itself.
Awesome. What about you, Cap?
Well, everybody can, you hear that anywhere, they had a weak opponent. No. I was sharing with Rand. We were down 7-2 to South Carroll in the fourth quarter. Des Parker makes a big interception and turns everything around. We end up blowing them out. Bel Air, we beat them 7-6. They're always tough in any sport. Now, I think you and I had this back and forth with Arundel. Now, I didn't know Arundel dropped down from 2A to 1A our senior year. So that's not our fault. Kenny Belt hook line somebody our junior year and put them out. The ambulance had to come get them. They weren't going to schedule us anyway.
Yeah.
Southern backed out. So we basically played the same teams except maybe Kenwood. Yeah. I'm not sure if we played them my junior year. But we basically played the same team. We can't help if other teams, dropped down a division or said, no, we're not going to schedule you guys.
Yeah.
And we played, listen, you play who you play. Now, if we had a loss, our schedule wouldn't have been soft, right?
You know what? Here's what I think. Here's what I got to say, man. You guys were exceptional. You did a superior job that year. And the one thing that stood out the most was the coaching. When Al came back, that was a difference maker. I applaud you guys, man. You guys are the first and only undefeated team in Annapolis High history. What more could be? And you state champs. What more could be said? We used to stand on the sidelines, myself, Lodi, and Kenny, and we'd be like, boy, I sure wish I was a part of that championship team, man. We're just watching you guys just killing everybody. And you guys, you know what? I applaud you. I applaud you tonight. I applaud you then. And it's well deserved. You guys, you served the city of Annapolis well. You served Annapolis High School football well. Congratulations, fellas. Your quarterback is making comments when he should be on the screen.
Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl. Ayana, do you have anything you want to say to these guys?
Did anyone go on and play in college? Anyone play college ball?
Yeah, Crandall and I did. I played. I played at Towson, and they moved me to defensive back. But so I was a quarterback in college.
I played basketball.
Wow. Okay.
I played at Morehouse. I walked on. I had academic scholarship, but I walked on. I had a full scholarship at Morgan, but that's a whole nother story. I walked on and I played monster back, defensive back. We won the SIAC that year. And after that, I concentrated on my studies. I didn't play anymore.
Mhm.
And Daryl played at Morgan.
Morgan, yeah.
Morgan, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
For 4 years.
Yeah. But he's making comments now.
Roger.
If he was on, he could
Hey,
defend
Kevo,
himself.
you played basketball where?
Wisconsin Stout.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. Huh? Kevo, where you
Wisconsin
play basketball
Stout.
at?
Wisconsin Stout.
Oh,
Was
okay.
in Menominee, Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
That's
don't think we
awesome.
have many people.
I mean, yeah,
that
it's obviously.
I don't think we have many people that play football off that team.
Well, Vest played.
Well, Vest played at Virginia State, yeah.
Yeah.
Virginia
And
State.
then
Yeah,
there was-
that's. Mhm.
in Delaware, there was Delaware State also. Didn't I think Mike
That's
Colbert
what
played
Mike
there.
went. Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, Smash.
Mhm.
Yeah, but he was a junior.
Yeah, I don't
right.
know
So
if-
seniors. Mhm.
Did Daryl play
Yeah.
anywhere?
Yeah, he played at Morgan
Did Daryl
State.
play anywhere? I don't know if Daryl played.
He played at
He played at
Daryl
Morgan?
Parker.
He's in the comments, Roger. He said he
Yeah.
played at Morgan.
Morgan State.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think Daryl didn't. Parker didn't. DP didn't go anywhere, right?
No, I don't think he did. Yeah.
Which amazes me.
I know DP, myself, Daryl Brown, and somebody else were recruited by Maryland Eastern Shore, and we were all recruited by Morgan State as well. But Morgan had issues, so that kind of like deterred me. But I could just tell you stories about letters that weren't given to us, but that's a whole nother program.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. Kentucky being one. Let's just go with that one.
So Vest did receive his letter from Kentucky, but he chose.
I didn't get one.
State. You didn't get one?
Oh, I had one. I didn't get it.
Wow.
I didn't know that until I got to Maryland Eastern Shore when the coach told me. I'm like, huh?
Okay, I got you. Yeah. I understand. Anything else, Raj?
No, but yeah, for you, Armin, how do it feel to look at these men and see greatness? And I know they just said another thing that one of our classmates did. Kenny choked somebody on the football field. So once again, I refer back to my comment at the beginning. Sometimes you go and buy a batch of apples. One of them got a little rotten piece in it. You cut it out, you still eat it. Yeah, why you gave me the finger, man? I saw that. And so once they cut that rotten piece out, like they was unstoppable because the apple is good after you get that rotten piece out. But that's it for me. You guys are great. It's an honor to talk to you guys. You represent the country. I'm sorry, force I have. You represent the state, the county well. And I don't care what nobody say about a soft schedule. Who you like Kevo say, you play who you played. It wasn't like you guys went out there and made the schedule. Whoever was in front of you, y'all just ran their ass over. That's it.
It'll be hit,
guys.
Hey, before I let you guys go, what does hit or be hit means to you? Huh?
It's football. It's and I think the one who can deliver the most hits and pains wins.
No, Randy, you know what it means. You right. I'm gonna help y'all out. It means 12-0 in the state championship. That's what it means.
That's right.
To me, if you're gonna take your behind out there and call yourself playing football, you better be the aggressor. I don't give a damn. You're on offense, defense. Yep. The running back can deliver a blow to the defensive back. He doesn't have to always take a blow. Randy Pittman delivered blows to DBs.
Yes.
All the time. Yeah.
That's what hit or be hit means.
My man. Well, you know what? Listen, contrary to belief, man, I love you guys. And I love your accomplishment. We're gonna go down my senior year as being the best 4-6 team in the state. That was a write-up. That was a write-up in the paper that we were receiving, and we were the best.
Sure.
We just had a tough time, but you guys made up for it. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you, and it was a pleasure having you on the show tonight, man. A pleasure. I want to thank each of you for coming. And Yana, do you have anything you want to say?
Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you back in the future.
And thank you for beautifying this whole event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Coach Phoebus, Coach Brogdon, and the late Coach Bill Wall. Those
Yeah.
are our assistant coaches.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. I tried to get Brogdon on tonight, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't catch up with him. But everyone, if you're out there on YouTube, and I see quite a few of you, subscribe to the show. We'll be back next week for another exciting show. We're gonna have top barber in Annapolis, Edward Moon of Moon's Barbershop. He'll be on the show next week.
Nice.
So until then, we love everybody. Peace.
Peace.
Once again, great job, guys.
Good night,
Thank you.
everybody.